Thanks for watching the Daniel Thomas Show. Dan, what do you got for us today?
Okay, polar opposites. Okay.
Sure.
Would you ever date someone that was the polar opposite of your beliefs? Okay.
Okay.
Now let's start. Would you date somebody that was politically opposed, the complete opposite of your political beliefs? Would you date somebody that was like that? So you're talking Biden side, Trump side. I'm talking that divided. Would you date
Big
somebody
divide.
that you were that divided with?
I'm going to say no, but I'm not going to put that as my first question. So, but no. You?
I dated this liberal chick that was so insane and so crazy. No, I'm kidding. She was okay. Yes, because I've done this. Okay,
Right.
and it just okay. There's certain things you just can't get over. You can't overcome. But it was funny. I mean, some of it was funny because it would be like, that's what your side believes, really.
Well,
You know,
but I know the relationship you're talking about, and she's a wonderful person. The beauty there was it was not one of these, if you don't believe what I believe, you're a complete idiot.
Never.
It was one of those you could have a conversation. And I liken this back to, some of you might not understand this one, but if you go back to the Reagan years, Reagan and Tip O'Neill, who was on the Democratic side, they were adamantly opposed in their beliefs, but they had a friendly conversation. They could go out and have dinner and discuss what's going on. Unlike today, where
Oh God, today it's not. But
you don't associate.
it's not like it's one thing to date a Yankee fan. You know what I mean? I could just sit there and go, "Wow, she's a Yankee fan. That's a mess." But then if they're a Houston Assholes fan, you know what I mean? I'm done. I'm done with the Houston fans. I mean, they cheat, and I would never have anything to do with them, especially a woman.
Well, okay. So now we're talking about sports. You got to look at geography and
What
where
were
you
you
grew up.
talking about?
Well, no. You were talking about politics. Now you want to talk about who's my favorite.
No, what I'm
sports team.
talking about
But
is I get a kick out of what people fight about
Oh,
and again, politically. I mean, I just think it's funny, and I think that I've had women when I was dating this person that would go, "How can you go out with her when she believes what she believes?"
mhm.
And I'm like, "Oh, because you want to go out with me. That's why you're asking me that." And one woman was so offended by that, and she's like, "What's wrong with that? What's wrong?" So, but does it work? Have you guys ever done and dated somebody that's totally polar opposite to you?
Of course, I think we all have at some point in time. But I think in the big picture, my question is always, what's the biggest priority? If you're looking for a long-term relationship, what is going to be that one deal breaker? Is it that she's a Yankees fan, or she comes from Houston and happens to have grown up with the Astros, but yet everything else is great? I mean, look at
So,
let me just put it this way, bud. You can't be so picky anymore, okay?
oh, is that it? Okay, you're right.
Houston Astros fan.
Me and Nick Swarsden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
so yeah, I'm looking at the bigger picture. But in a dating relationship, sure, why not? It might be fun for a while.
It is. It's great.
But is that somebody you're going to build a life with?
You know what? Who does Tom look like? That's the thing. I keep getting these things. I got the Rascal Flats dude guy, the guy with the hair straight up in the air, the guy that looks like he ate a Dan. Yeah, let's sing. You know what I mean? Okay, I don't look like that guy. I don't look like the Nick guy either, the comedian. Okay, so if you guys want to add anything, who does Tom look like? Don't quit writing about me. Okay, Tom. Who does Tom look like?
Well, I'm not going to say.
Tom looks like my accountant. Okay, that's fine. Okay,
I'm not going to give it away, but remind me. I'll bring in a pair of glasses and a turtleneck shirt one day, and people will go, "Oh,
again, lost me.
Yep,
but that's okay.
That's okay. Yep,
It's like our
for
sense
another
of humor.
time.
Our
Yeah.
sense of humor is totally different. Okay, so anyways, have you guys dated somebody polar opposite?
Or
Let us
are you?
know.
Wait a minute. Even better. Are you currently in a relationship or married to somebody who's a polar opposite? Now, I mean, we're not talking necessarily personality-wise, but what's the big divide? Is it politics? Is it sports? Is it religion? Because I mean, there are certain things here. I'm gonna put it out there. religion is probably the number one deal breaker. If there's not an alignment or at least an understanding of your belief, my belief, and they being similar, that usually that's a tough one.
Yeah, yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
It can be. See, the other thing is money. Is that I have had a lot of women write me and say I make a lot more money than my boyfriend, and he creates a rift. And again, okay. I mean, that's got to be tough too. You know, when people make.
And Dan responds personally to each one of those.
Exactly.
Ask for a P&L first.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it's a great conversation.
And photos too. Come on, let's
absolutely.
start with the minimal amount that we need. Anyways, to have that conversation continue. No, but I don't know. I'm blown away by that because I've had it go both ways. People that are in debt, people that are not in debt, people that have a good job, have a good career, and then somebody is rebuilding. And a lot of women, I don't know. Personally, I don't think women don't like to be around men that are rebuilding. You know, and I think that they love you at the top, they love you when you're the champion, but they don't want to hear about your struggles, man.
So let me put it to you the other way. If somebody is willing and interested in you when you're at the bottom, when you're struggling, hang on to them.
Exactly.
That is a keeper, and I will say thank you to my wife because she met me when I was at the bottom, and it was one of those.
Thursday was tough for you.
Yeah, but thankfully,
no, I'm kidding. But I, and you guys have been married a long time. You know, it's funny. My IT guy was. I have a travel van, and he was in the travel van. He goes, my wife and I could really go long places, like because you get along with your wife. You and her are fans of each other. And he's like, oh, I never thought of it that way. I said, you've never figured that out, that because you could sit there and travel inside of a trailer and eat and spend days together, it's because you guys get along. And there's a lot of chemistry, guys, that people just don't want to look at. People want to try to convince themselves, hey, we'll go on vacation together, we'll go do this together. And it's the last place they should be because, again, there's a lot with conversation, a lot with getting along. But, and my IT guy, again, I really am blown away. And he was really thinking about that. And I'm like, I wish I had a photo of you because normally you're the guy that makes me think of everything because he's so smart and he thinks of things and fixes them in seconds when he's working on my sites and stuff.
Well, and there again, I think it's that chemistry, it's that longevity, but I think it's the respect, plain and simple. If you have respect for your spouse or the person you're in a relationship with, and you're interested in their time and what they're doing and where they're at, nothing is free.
You can just meet people to have sex all over the place and people are still blown away. Where's that at? Well, you clearly have no game or don't have an ounce of game. But if you want more than that, you want a substantial relationship, it takes time, effort, and what's that word? Oh, communication.
Oh, and the other C word, commitment. Yeah. And when I say commitment in this situation, I mean, no, I'm not dating 17 other women this week.
No.
I'm interested in one person, and if that doesn't work, then next.
But again, guys, let us know what you think about all this stuff, and have you dated somebody that's completely the opposite of you? And again, the sports thing is minimal because I'll go to the baseball game and there'll be people that have Dodger jerseys on. She's got the Angels jersey, things like that. And I make fun of stuff like that. But have you had the religious situation? Have you had the politics? Because I just think, it's, you have to understand the other side is completely stupid right now. That's how everybody feels. Both sides feel that way.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, and we're not going to get political here and say this side or that. It doesn't matter.
No, everybody thinks that the other side is completely off their rocker and completely insane and complete idiots, and it just creates rift after rift after rift. It's just so awful,
Well, and you have to look at that too and realize that when you're in a relationship, your spouse or your significant other is going to have other people in their life, and they may be just like them. They may be even more radical.
Yeah.
So,
we could get into, if your girlfriend has a lot of guy friends. I hate all that stuff, but we can talk about that. All these guys in the friend zone that shouldn't be because they want to be in the Dan
Wait a
zone.
minute. Isn't that the on deck circle?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
It is the on deck circle, but we'll talk about that later. But if you guys want to discuss it, Danielthomasshow@yahoo.com is the email address, and keep the comments coming in because I love it. And, we love when you guys send us stuff, and reach out anytime.
And we're big supporters of the First Amendment. So if you don't like it, you can comment.
Exactly.
We're fine with that.
We know you're wrong, but you can
comment anyways.
Okay. Okay.
Keep the comments coming.
See you soon.
So what do you think? Was that a great episode?
Did you see the last episode? Really? This one? I don't know.